bother with strict diet. Restrictive diet doesn't give you enough flexibility. There are a lot of misinformation around health and nutrition. Life is not just about broccoli, chicken breast, brown rice. There are still bayam, there are still ikan tenggiri, there are still so many local food that haven't been explored.
I think I'm one of those people that I say, I want to be healthier this year, and then I end up, maybe February is like jalat already, right?
Okay. That's fast.
Why is it so that some people can go on diet, never lose weight, and some people can just lose weight without even trying?
If they want to set New Year resolution, I think it's a good time to stop focusing on just weight. Just focus on building habits, and then your weight will come later. You can only make so much effort to change your look. By focusing on your health, you'll be able to see some changes in your look.
The highest cause of NCD in Malaysia is cardiovascular disease.
It's a blessing for us to have this variety of food, but at the same time, that kind of variety also very easy for us to overeat. And anyone who has the negative effect, they don't usually voice out because they are busy dealing with their negative effects already.
And I did it. I did bodybuilding, and then I got myself in a bulk up diet. I wouldn't do it again. Like it's not nothing. There's no pleasure in
it's
that.
It's a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
Discipline. It's overrated. It makes health sounds like a chore.
So you're in good shape. Do you say it's all discipline or?
I'm not a disciplined person, but I.
Hey guys, welcome to Keep It 100 Talks. And the reason I created this podcast, this talk, is because I believe conversations have such a great way to influence our life. There might be a conversation that you're listening in, or maybe somebody that you're talking to. And in those moments, something in that conversation triggered an inspiration, triggered a whole new set of actions, decisions that open up a whole new path for your life. It's like a little window that opens up to a whole new world. So I want to bring those meaningful conversations in a podcast like this. So we bring in people who are willing to share their journey, share their mindset, share their thoughts and knowledge revolving topics around mindset, money, and lifestyle. So with that, I got a favor to ask as well. If you ever find value in these conversations, please do us a big favor by subscribing to the channel and also sharing with your friends. Because I believe the larger the podcast grows, we're able to get more people onto this channel to provide you more value. All right, so thanks for watching this episode, and let's keep it 100, let's keep it real. Let's have some really good conversations in Keep It 100 Talks. I think whatever you try to achieve, whether it's better business results, starting new business, achieving better financial status, or maybe you want to have a better relationship, I think everything comes to the foundation of having good health. Someone once told me, when you have good health, you can want everything in the world. You can pursue anything in the world. But when you fall sick, the only thing that you ever want is to get back your good health. So I want to bring this topic to Keep It 100. And today we have someone who's extremely qualified, extremely passionate, in the area of nutrition. Today we have Zhi Ling to talk about nutrition today. So we can keep it 100 in our life, our health, and our nutrition in 2025.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me. Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Hi, nice to meet you again.
Yes, nice to meet you. And also, a quick reminder. So, the 100 thing, it can be very different from a person to another person. So, every day you do have to evaluate what is 100 for you. So, don't ever try to achieve other people's 100 and then neglect your own needs. So this is also one of the reminders I want to remind the audience since the podcast title is called Keep It 100, right?
That's very cool, right? And I think it applies particularly more important in health. And I think health and fitness has always been tied to a certain body figure and how it looks like for men or women. So maybe that could be 100 for someone, but could be not 100 for somebody, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Exactly. And for some people, even within the individual itself, 100 can look very different from day to day. So on some days you have low capacity, your 10 minutes walk could be your 100 already. And another day, one hour workout is your 100. So it really has to be flexible enough to know what kind of 100 we should go for every day.
That's nice. Thank you for sharing your point of view about 100. And I think that's a very good reminder to start, because all we can discuss today can be very valuable, but it also can be easily taken out of context.
Yes.
What's wrong? What's right? And and that's probably what you face a lot in nutrition, right?
Yes, nutrition, health.
Of stuff.
Correct. So it's a lot of sometimes willfully misinterpretation, sometimes unconscious misinterpretation. So it really goes back to how can we see the nuance around health and nutrition so that we can find the information that suits our life and suits our capacity, our resources. Yeah, so that's the thing that can be a bit complicated for nutrition. Yeah, that's
So
why.
on that topic, I want to ask that why nutrition? Like there's so many career paths you can choose. You chose yourself to dive into a master's of science in nutrition, and not only that, you went from focusing on probably taking care of one-to-one patients, clients, and you go all the way to now being a content creator, putting yourself out there. So what made you decided that nutrition is important?
I was quite fortunate to grow up in a family where they love food, but at the same time, they also value health a lot. So they focus on a lot of nutrition, and my family is very health conscious. My mom, partly because she lazy to cook, but also another thing is that she always only cook steamed food. So it's because one, she's lazy. Another one is it's healthier. It's healthier that way. So it has been always that consistent health effort that they have been doing throughout my life, throughout my high school, that makes me think, okay, maybe nutrition is one of the things that I want to explore. Yeah, so with a little bit push of my father, he said, "Hey, maybe you can try and look out for nutrition course." Then there you go. I am here right now, delivering nutrition information to the public.
But how come you chose to become a content creator? Because I know a lot of people, I mean, we both can relate to this because we're both content creators.
Yeah.
Being a content creator also means we put ourselves out there. Put ourselves for people to point fingers at. And not only we can help people, but sometimes we get a lot of, judgment, and someone might argue that even the reward to the cost is not as good, right? But what made you so passionate that you want to champion? Because I like your content, right? You bring a lot of very practical ways to look at nutrition, but also a very, I would say, a very broadening view of nutrition. What made you decided to do that? Because you could have just stuck.
Correct. Just the conventional path, right?
Yeah.
So the original intention of creating content online is actually very personal. It's actually very personal factor, which is to continue to practice my nutrition knowledge. So at one point, I wasn't even working as a nutritionist for my full-time job. So I was creating content while having a full-time job that is not nutritionist. So I was a recipe developer and also marketing executive in a multi-function cooker company. Yeah, so but...
One of those appliances, right?
Correct, kitchen appliances.
Cool. Nice.
So I didn't want to lose that part of myself where I can continue to educate people about nutrition. So I continue to create content online to practice my nutrition knowledge. But along the way, more and more friends and families came out to me and said, "Hey, I really like your idea. I really like your perspective about food." Then that makes me realize, okay, I do have a voice. To help people to see health in a different way. So then I continue to do that. And another factor that keep me going is that there are a lot of misinformation around health and nutrition. So if we accredited nutritionists don't keep voicing out, then the voice from another side of the spectrum will be louder and louder, and then people will trust that more than the information from accredited nutritionists. So that's also one of the reasons that I have to keep doing it, because I want my voice to be louder than the other side of the spectrum. Yeah, so that's another one. And another thing about social media content is that you can keep repeating the same thing so that it can help our population and audience to remember this one particular information. So a lot of the people, when they see our content for the first time, they don't pick up the information right away.
Yeah.
So the benefit of creating content on social media is that we can continue to do that repetitively, so that we can impart this particular idea to their mind, be it whether they are practicing it or not, I don't care. But at least there is a seed in their mind already. So maybe down the road, few years down the road, they realize, oh, Rupanya, this is what Zhi Ling said back in the days when she was creating content. Then they will start practicing that particular information. So that's why social media content is also one of the things that I want to continue to do because of this. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation, I think, regarding almost everything. But I think
Almost
especially,
everything,
but if I'm fitness, especially in food, nutrition, supplements, there's a lot of misinformation out there. And people tend to somehow fall for a lot of, I won't say like gimmicks or maybe like fads. I think the word is fads.
Fat,
Right?
yeah.
You know, and what do you think those fads can be dangerous for a lot of our population who just follow certain fads?
It really depends. So some of the fats, the intention is good to begin with. And they do encourage people to eat more whole foods, eat more minimally processed food. So there are some degree where some of the information within the fat diet itself is applicable to our life. Yeah. But if the fat diet is forcing you to, for example, eliminating one whole food group or asking you to eat something that is unregulated supplement or what, or do some strategies that is unproven, which may also down the road harm your body and also harm your relationship with food, then that's when we do have to stop and evaluate whether this is applicable to our life or not.
I see.
Yeah.
What are the, maybe before we jump into a few things, I'm just maybe particularly interested in say, certain things that can harm. What would be, let's say, one fat diet, that's out there, one of the diet that you think that people, since we got this podcast right now, we're talking, what would be the one thing or maybe we should really not do, like one diet or one thing, or if there's one first, then we'll go through a few later on.
Okay. If there's one very dangerous one that I can think of right now, is carnivore diet. Yeah, so I don't see a lot yet in Malaysia, but there are a lot of people in the wellness industry, not just in Malaysia, but also in a lot of in other parts of the world, start practicing carnivore diet where they only eat meat.
Means that so for
Nothing
the audience,
else.
Nothing else but meat.
Meat.
Do I eat like I can't touch vegetables?
Yes.
I can't eat rice.
Yes.
And can I take oil like avocado oil or olive oil or just?
I need to find out that, but
it
mainly it would be
meat.
mainly meat.
So like
Correct.
99% meat.
Yeah, so I'm not sure about the number,
That
but
sounds
it's
a bit
really
extreme.
a lot. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The word extreme.
Okay.
Yeah, so some people, their diet their body may respond well to high meat diet, but definitely not asking you to go all the way to just meat, right? So carnivore diet itself is a very dangerous fat diet because there is no in between. And research has always showing that eating a good amount of vegetables and fruits will help you to improve your health, cardiovascular health, reduce risk of cancer, etc. But this group of people, they are going to the other spectrum and eating only meat. So that's quite dangerous. And some people they see health benefit from that, probably also because they mostly start eating whole food. Because if you want to eat meat, then you have to eat whole food.
Yeah.
So
Unless you're eating canned food, but that's not whole food, right? Because there's corn starch and stuff in it.
It depends on what kind of
corned beef.
Correct. Right. So it depends on how we apply that kind of canned food or convenience food into our life. Correct. I would like to say convenience food. So
what are the things we're concerned? Let's say if I'm your client and I told you that, Zhi Ling, I'm on this carnivore diet. What would be your immediate concern? Like as a professional, because you're Masters in Science in Nutrition, what would be your immediate concern?
So the immediate concern is that down the road, your lipid profile might not be good. Your blood checkup result.
Lipid as in
your triglycerides, your cholesterol level, LDL cholesterol level, and HDL cholesterol level. All of these. So down the road, usually, if you are eating a lot of you have diet high in saturated fat, then you may very likely that you have not so ideal lipid profile where you have high LDL cholesterol, low HDL cholesterol, and then you have high triglycerides. Yeah. So that will increase the risk of you getting cardiovascular disease, getting heart disease.
which is a very big issue in, I think, most developed countries, including Malaysia.
Yes, correct.
We'll come back to that in a moment. So, what do you say to people then that, because I met people who told me that they tried all diets, right? They say, I've tried juice diet, I've done vegan diet, I drove raw vegan diet, and I got a particular friend of mine who's suffering from eczema. Right? He tried all sorts of diet. And then when he finally, very reluctantly, he tried carnivore diet. And it was the only time in his life his eczema doesn't flare up. So he's not like attached to carnivore diet, it sounds like, but he says the only time I can find relief from my skin is that few months that I'm not nothing but meat. So what would he do then? Because if I'm him, then I'm of course worried about my mortality, right? I'd rather scratch my skin a little bit than to have a...
But we also have to understand it's really difficult for them to go through that every day.
That's
I
true.
understand that. Yeah. So if any way they can find and then attach to it and start improving their condition, they will attach to it. So I think other than the diet itself, we also have to go deeper and understand what are their struggles.
I see.
Yeah. So of course, when I say to the public, I would have to say, yes, carnivore diet is extreme. But one-to-one, I have to dive deeper and help them to understand, okay, why is this doing well and why is this not? And how can we find balance that applicable to your lifestyle? Of course, I still won't suggest carnivore diet, but there must be some other hidden factors behind that in order to let you feel like you are feeling better because of the carnivore diet.
I see.
So there are some things that you probably have eliminated because of the carnivore diet. And that helps the eczema. Probably not because of the carnivore diet. Yeah.
A lot of people lose weight on carnivore diet. They lose a lot of fat. I've known some people who, especially in social media, right? You just hashtag carnivore diet. You see all the before after pictures, right? Why is it that people lose weight on carnivore diet?
To be honest, everything has to go back to energy balance.
Maybe they're just showing people who lose weight.
That could be one. That could be one.
That could be one. Like the devil's advocate.
That could be one. Because people always tend to look at the positive side of this particular diet, and then people will amplify the positive effect of the diet. And anyone who has the negative effect, who experience the negative effect, they don't usually voice out because they are busy dealing with their negative effects already. So they're busy dealing with that negative effect, and then they also don't dare to voice out, and then they don't have time to voice out. They don't have the platform to voice out.
I see.
So this part of people, the voice from this group of people will be flooded by the positive effect of this kind of.
And that's down the nature of algorithm works. You click on one, you like it, you comment on it, then you're gonna get more and more of the similar content, right? And it becomes like a biased view. Right?
Bias. Correct.
But maybe just I'm just personally curious, right? Because I've tried many diets. We'll talk about that later in a moment. But how come people lose weight on carnivore diet? Because some people in the audience might be thinking, hey, if I eat a lot of meat, how can I lose weight? It sounds counterintuitive for a lot of people.
Yeah. Right? So it has to go back to energy balance. So if you're eating whatever kind of diet, regardless, if you're not talking about just carnivore diet, whatever kind of diet you practice, you lose weight, most likely because you are eating less than what you need. Yeah. So even though, like for example, carnivore diet. So when you eat a lot of protein, we all know that protein increases satiety. So when you eat enough protein, you feel full very soon. Yeah, you feel full, and then you
don't feel like eating.
Don't feel like eating more. And also, eating only protein is not that satisfied. To be honest, yeah. So when you eat only protein, that's why you probably stop very soon. So once you're full, okay, you stop. Because it's not very palatable. Yeah, so that's why you eat less than what you need. That's why you lose weight.
I see.
Yeah. So those are probably the process going through behind whatever kind of diet that help you to lose weight. So it's just energy balance. You eat less than what you need, or maybe that particular diet doesn't allow you to eat more because it's not palatable.
It's true. That's true. I think about it like if I were to eat 100 grams of protein, not let's say like 100 grams of of protein could be maybe half a kilo of chicken.
Oh, wow.
Is it around there?
100 grams, that's more than, probably.
Around there.
Yeah. 100 grams of
I
like
was
protein.
I was an ex-bodybuilder back then. I used to remember like 100 grams of chicken breast should be around 20 to 25 grams of protein.
Yeah.
So if I go maybe 400, I should get 100.
Yeah.
But now I think about it, 400 grams of chicken breast is probably more difficult to eat than 120 grams of rice. No, right?
Yeah.
The rice is easier to gobble up,
Yeah,
right?
because it's palatable.
Yeah, and they're both the same caloric intake, right?
Yeah,
So, now I think that maybe it's easier to feel like, okay, I'm done with like halfway through the chicken breast, you feel like I'm done, right?
I'm done.
And then maybe halfway through my rice, I'm like, I want more, right?
I want more sauces. I want more things to eat with it.
Correct, right? That's why bak kut teh we end up 2 or 3 bowls with bak kut teh, right?
Yeah.
Or ganda, right?
It's palatable, correct. It's just very tasty.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Thanks for sharing some light on that, because I think some of our audience may also be looking at some things, but I think what message I'm really getting out of it is to not look at it so skewed, but sort of like look around it.
Yeah, exactly. Look around it. Look behind what's going on behind it. Yeah.
And not just look at the outlook and in the front, right? Okay. So I got a lot of questions to ask actually,
Yes.
but we touched on something earlier about lipid profiles, and lipid profiles are usually linked with cardiovascular disease, right?
Yeah.
And I've had this conversation with a lot of people, but a lot of them are sometimes people like me, like we are fitness enthusiasts. We study, we follow fitness influencers, like there's so many out there, including yourself. But we don't have like maybe a scientific background to analyze all this data. But I think heart disease is something being, especially for men, right? It's a very scary disease because, the statistics are out there, right? So, for example, Malaysians are the most obese in Southeast Asia, right? So there's something called NCD, which is not your car NCD, you guys. Yeah. It's a non-communicable disease, right? That causes death in Malaysia. Is the highest cause of NCD in Malaysia is cardiovascular disease, right?
Yes.
What do you call it? Non-communicable disease? Is there a reason why they call it non-communicable?
Non-communicable disease is diseases, in simple term, it's chronic diseases. So they are not infectious diseases.
Or they're not like immediately acute, like it jumps out like that.
Yeah,
like,
so
like
it's not spreadable.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it means. Non-spreadable. Right? Okay.
That's the policy or scientific term for that. Policy term or scientific term. Yeah.
So in the NCD, which is cardiovascular disease is one of the highest, most death in NCD is actually cardiovascular disease.
Yes.
Do you think it's because our eating habits? Or is it just because of our local food and flavor? Why? What do you think it could be the rise of this?
To be honest, it's the same thing. Like what you said just now, we have to look at the bigger picture. So it's not, of course, food would be one of the factor. We have very high accessibility to variety of food. So that it's a blessing for us to have this variety of food, but at the same time, that kind of variety also very easy for us to overeat. And then that food is one thing, and then we have probably also for some area of in Malaysia, we may have a very low food security. We don't have enough accessibility to nutritious food for some people. Yeah, and economic stability could be also another thing. So it's also, there are a lot of things playing into this picture. And safe environment to work out with. Our city is not very walkable.
Yes,
it's not very pedestrian friendly.
Correct.
So that reduces a lot of our ability to walk outside or work out outside. So that's one thing. And what else? Food accessibility, food security, preferences, even up to preferences, like how our food culture affect our palate, how our food culture affect our food decision, and whether there are some teachings in our culture that make us feel like we have to finish a whole plate of food.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Asian, right? So we always have this teaching where you have to finish a whole plate of food. If not, you get something.
My mom's made me feel guilty.
Yeah.
Every drop of rice is a drop of sweat from a farmer.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Finish
eating. So there are ways to go around it.
Okay.
You can split half of your food and then keep half of it as your leftover.
Okay.
And then you just finish whatever you have in your plate.
Okay.
So there are ways to go around it. You don't have to finish the whole plate. So there are a lot of things that going around.
So if I'm a man that's, because the statistics starting to show, when you're closing 40, 50, cardiovascular disease is something that becomes, something we have to look out for. I think most GPs and most doctors would always advise men above 30, 35, now even at 35, right? Start checking your lipid profile.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? What would be the kind of habits and things that you probably, let's say this is, like say I'm seeking advice. What would I have to avoid to ensure that I don't get in this cardiovascular disease, right? Because it's a leading cause of NCDs, right? So if I can eliminate that, I'm thinking of the highest ROIs to remove this first, right? What would I have to look out for?
I think the first thing ever they can do to our health is to eat more fruits and vegetables. I know, this sounds like broken record. But eat more fruits and vegetables is really one of the easiest way, most accessible way to just start improving your health. Because according to NHMS, it's a research in Malaysia, a national research, the national survey in Malaysia. Now, in NHMS 2023 showed that 91% of Malaysians are not eating enough fruits and vegetables.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a lot of them actually.
What do you mean that not enough? Is it like the UK's like 5 a day kind of thing?
Yeah, so yes, 5 a day. 2 servings of fruits and 3 servings of vegetables a day. So people are not eating enough of this
Really?
amount.
91%?
Yeah.
So if I were to go on the street and I throw a rock, right? And maybe 9 out of 10 times I hit someone who's not eating enough vegetables.
Correct.
So how does it contribute to say poor cardiovascular disease?
So it won't be
health,
correct.
Right?
It won't be contributing factors, but it can be one of the factors.
So if I say like my biggest ROI is to first do this first.
First do this first because that's the easiest way to do, and it will bring a lot of positive impact with low effort.
I see.
Yeah, so low effort as in you don't have to force yourself to eat salad every day. You just mindfully ask your Ipo 介紹河飯 auntie to increase your vegetables in your soup.
More tauge.
Exactly. Or your Hokkien mee, if you really love Hokkien mee. Ask for more kangkong. Yeah, so those are small little steps that you can start doing to improve their health because you get more fiber. You get more nutrients in your body. Fiber itself is already a proven, scientifically proven particular food to help us to improve our health, not just improve our cardiovascular health, and also improve our cholesterol level, and then help us to improve our gut health. So there's so many benefits behind fiber. So just try to think of a way to increase your fiber intake. And then slowly start, after getting your fiber intake done, then you can start looking at whether you get enough protein, whether you're eating more than what you need. Yeah. So the first thing first, eat more fruits and vegetables.
Very interesting because most people would think about reducing food first, reducing amount stop ice cream, everything. But what you're saying is eat more fiber first.
Yeah, eat more fiber first.
That's interesting.
Yes. So because that would be easier for them to do. So people definitely have to reduce their portion.
Yeah.
Have to. Because our portion is actually quite big, some of the food.
Really?
It's just that it can be very difficult to start with that.
I see.
Yeah. So because you're used to it already. So if you increase your fruits and vegetables intake, your stomach space will be filled by some of the fruits and vegetables already. So naturally, most of the time, you'll be able to reduce your portion of the food too.
I see. So you're saying fiber is it because it's more difficult to digest? It stays in our gut.
It stays in our stomach longer, and then it fills up our stomach face better also.
I see.
Correct,
so it gives you a more satiety feeling, right, as well.
Yes.
I see. For longer term,
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Is that why, someone said they call it SAD, Standard American Diet, which is primarily burger, like cheese, starch, right? Is that why people just seem to eat a lot?
Because not enough. It's high, very, very satiable. How do I say? Very palatable. Because high in fat, high in sugar.
Right?
So it's
salty.
very, very good. Tastes good. So that's one thing. Another thing is not enough fiber.
Yeah.
Correct.
And those things pass by very quick, right? And that's why people eat one, they want to eat again. Because I'm so shocked when I went to US. I went to and I don't mean anything to my friends in US, but when I go to one of those simple fast food chains, and then one of those burger shops, it was Carl's Jr. I believe. I can't remember which brand I went to, but I look at the calories like. One burger is like 800 calories. Then you add on. Let's say count the milkshake, you count the fries, and it's like that's like 1,800 calories. Like that's what I would eat for 80% of my caloric needs.
Yeah.
And they eat 2-3 meals a day. I was like, how do they do it, right? And then for me, I'm sitting there with one burger, and I finish one burger. I'm like, I'm so full. I can't do it. And people eating their fries and milkshake. I say, how do they do it, right?
Yeah, correct. Because it's very easy to digest those foods, so it gets out of you. Yeah, palatable. Correct. Yeah. It's very palatable. You don't even realize you eat 1,800 calories.
That's the thing,
in one
right?
go.
It's scary.
It's palatable.
Yeah. So fiber, other than just helping us feel satiated, what are the benefits? You say it does help with lipid profiles like cholesterol.
Yeah. So if you get enough fiber, correct. So especially beta glucan that's coming from whole grain like oats. So you'll be able to improve your cholesterol level also. Your bad cholesterol level.
So is there a difference between soluble or non-soluble fiber?
Yes, there are. So
what's soluble fiber and what's unsoluble?
So soluble fiber is like what we said, soluble in it's soluble, and then it will help us to feel full. And then non-soluble are not easily digestible in stomach, and then when it goes to our gut, then it can be broken down in our gut by those bacteria.
I see.
So those bacteria will be able to thrive on that and then release some good byproduct. Yeah, basically their shit. But their shit is actually good for us.
How about sugar for heart health, cardiovascular? Is it important for you to cut out sugar?
There is no direct relationship, but if you're eating, you have high consumption of sugar, it's easy for you to consume more calories, right? So if you have more calories, you may gain weight. And when you have extra weight, you may have higher risk of getting other chronic diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high blood pressure, or
and these are all statistically proven, right? Linked, right? Or
it's all linked in a way where it's a process. So there's no direct
link.
Yeah,
okay,
correct.
Okay. This is good to have that, right? There's a process to it. Right?
Correct. There's a process because a lot of people, when they talk about chronic disease, then they want to
immediately find the villain.
Correct. They want to point out which one is the villain. But to be honest, when it comes to chronic disease, there are a lot of things going on behind it. There won't be just one single food that causes this chronic disease. There will be a lot of different factors, high consumption of salt, sugar, fat, or not getting enough exercise, not sleeping enough for very, very long term, or you have been stressed, very, very stressed for a very long time. So those are things that will also affect your health, not just food. Yeah.
I really like the way you looked at it because, I guess if I were to go to any Instagram reel, because it's so short, right? There's always like one thing and the one thing and the one thing. But what you're sort of advocating is, or what you just said is, there's a few things that we need to look at, and it's not just one thing, right?
Yes.
Okay,
correct.
Yeah, and I like that message, right? Because I think it's never just one thing, right?
Never just one thing.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah. Because if I'm eating clean, but I'm sleeping 3 hours a day.
Oh yeah.
Right? The amount of probably stress hormones I'll get, and all the cortisol I have, probably not be very impactful on my body, right?
Yeah.
If I'm working out 5 times a week, but in exchange I'm giving up 3 hours of sleep, and I'm sleeping 3 hours a day.
Yeah, you don't have enough time to recover.
I probably get injured halfway. Right?
Correct.
Right? So,
correct.
it's a very good way to look at this one. I really like the message you put out. So about diets,
Okay.
right? Because I think this is something of your. I would say something could be is in your ballpark, right? Diet. And I'm particularly interested as well. Why some people go on diet but can never lose weight? Right? They say, "Oh, Thomas, I went on this diet, and some people lose weight and then they can't keep the weight off.
Yes.
Right. So, but how come some people eat right but never gain weight? There's two kinds of people. Some people who they say, oh, it's your body type. Like Thomas, you're the fat type, so you gain weight very quickly. So why is it so that some people can go on diet can never lose weight, and some people can just lose weight without even trying?
So to put it in a very simple way, to make it easy to understand, most of the time this is just because of energy balance. So if you eat if you're on diet, but you're not losing weight, which is most likely you're not eating less than what you need.
You may think you are.
You
right?
think you are, correct. So it's a very harsh truth, but you do have to know that, yes, you may not be in calorie deficit. Yeah. So for those people who seems like they eat a lot, but they don't gain weight, which means they are eating the amount of calories that their body actually needs, or just maintaining. So it's very important to understand like how other factors affect energy balance. So yes, energy balance is the foundation, but there are a lot of factors playing like affect your energy balance, like your genetic, your age, height, weight, gender, and your food preferences, relationship with food, and or we can dive deeper into something very practical. Whether you are tracking your calories right, whether you are tracking your sources. Like people said, oh, I eat not much, but they didn't track their sources. They didn't control their sources. Yeah, so some hidden calories they may actually eat some hidden calories along the way that they don't know, they are not conscious of.
So what could be like hidden calories?
A lot of hidden calories are coming from sauces,
right?
Smoothies. It's not that smoothie not
good.
good. It's just that smoothies is a very easy way to consume calories. So it can be very good for people who want to gain weight.
Really?
Yes, for people who want to gain weight.
I always read smoothies was like, oh, I want to feel like I was in a resort that day with my wife, and then we're like, oh, we want to feel healthy, you know. We get a smoothie for breakfast, right?
Yes, totally. You can.
Because I thought smoothie is like linked to like less calories and healthy.
Calories wise, it depends.
Really?
So it depends on what kind of ingredients they use. So if they use a lot of nut butter, they use a high amount of fruits, then the calories might add up. But if you are doing it for yourself, then you know you can control the amount of fruits that you want to add, the nut butter you want to add.
So smoothie doesn't always mean it.
Doesn't always mean, but it can be a good healthy meal. Because smoothie itself has carbs, has fat, sometimes got protein, correct? Got fiber. Yeah, correct. So like what I have always been saying, there are a lot of nuance behind one single food. So one food may be healthy for one person, but it may not be healthy for another person. So those are the things that we also need to make more people realize.
What you say something about hidden calories is so cool, because you said it. So it kind of help people sort of, and for me, it's starting to think like, just because it's a salad, it doesn't mean that it's healthy, or doesn't mean it's low in calories.
Yes.
And just because it's a smoothie, it doesn't always mean that it's healthy.
Exactly.
Because it can be chocolate smoothie with, like
a lot of nut butter in it, right? And then a lot of cream, if they add cream on top.
Oh, I love cream. I love myself some cream. It can be cream on top.
Yeah, it can be cream on top.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sauces, you say it's one of the source of hidden calories. Like, are they really big? Like,
Yeah, it can be. So a lot of sauces is made of oil, right? It needs oil to make it tasty. You need to pecah minyak. Yeah, right. Our local cooking method, we have to pecah minyak. Spices need to be fried in oil and then pecah minyak, and then to make it tasty. Or we need oil to cook, to braise something, to braise our meat. So, or even when you are braising meat, the oil coming out from the animal would be also a big part of the component, big part of the calories, and also the gravy. So those gravy sauces are quite easy to add up. Quite easy to add up to our calories. Correct.
But fundamentally, what you're saying is that the biggest thing to look at if someone is losing weight or not losing weight, whether it's hard or easy, is just to go back to the fundamental, which is
energy balance. Energy balance. Whether you are eating calories in more than calories out, or calories out more than calories in, or equal. Yeah, but I still want to remind people, this is just the fundamental, but there are a lot of things going on behind. So it's still important to, if possible, for people to reach out to nutritionists or dietitian to help them to troubleshoot. Yeah, so when they manage to troubleshoot what kind of food or what kind of lifestyle behavior that makes them not being able to lose weight or not being able to gain weight, then it will be easier for them to find a solution that's suitable for their life. Yeah.
So it's better to get help if you
really have capacity and if you are really confused. Yeah.
It's not because the information out there is not helpful. It's just that maybe something's
It can be too noisy.
too noisy. Right?
And it may not be applicable to your life. Yeah.
And it kind of, for me, it's like, I never thought about this, like, I can figure this out myself. But the thing about it, let's say if I have a problem with my car,
Oh yeah.
right? I can Google all about it. But at the end of the day, like,
I still don't know how to fix it.
fix it, right? And then
Yeah.
you fix it, it's still rosat. Then what do? You take it to an expert, right? Someone that would probably fix thousands of this same issue. Who look at it one time and say, hey, you missed this one,
lah.
right? You know? So I think it's the same for nutrition, isn't it?
Correct.
If you can't get the results that you want, it's probably worthwhile to hire a nutritionist.
Yes.
And say, man, Zhi Ling, I've been trying everything, but nothing's working. Like, can you tell me? And then what would be the process that you take someone through? Like,
So at the beginning, we always will go through assessment. So that's how we can help you to identify some of the problem or issues. So we will assess your medical history, your biological assessment, like your height, weight, everything, BMI. And then we also start to assess your eating behaviors, eating dietary habits. So we will ask questions about what do you usually eat for breakfast? What do you usually eat for lunch, dinner? And then we'll go deeper and ask, okay, what kind of food you are eating? How do you cook it? Or if you're eating out, how do you eat the food? So a lot of questions need to be done before we give proper consultation or give proper advice. Because if, like for example, if people go online and found that, okay, this is what I should do, but it's not even what they need to start to begin with. There are so many things that they need to work on before they go into that particular step. So when they go online, they find information that could be their step 10. But if we are doing it with nutritionists and dietitian, then the nutritionist and dietitian will help them to start with step 1. Yeah, step 1, step 2, step 3, and then slowly moving to step 10.
maybe that step 10 may not even be relevant for that person.
At that moment.
At that moment,
correct,
right? So,
correct.
So what would be, in your opinion, that sounds really, really a very pragmatic way to look at taking care of our health. But why do you think people don't, because I think there's resistance. Even I'm saying I'm one of those guys. Is resistant to actually hire a nutritionist out there. What do you think is the resistance? Is it like because I'm afraid that I have to review all my mistakes? Or what do you think is, I mean, you've been in the industry for a while and you probably met a lot of people who are also colleagues and peers in the industry. What is that? Because I want my audience to feel it's okay to get help. Right? But what would be the thing that really stops people from actually saying, hey, I want to hire a nutritionist?
I think, What about you? I want to know your thought process behind. Okay, if you
I think
don't
there's two.
Yeah.
One is I would say immediately, if I'm being really honest, it's like pride. Like
Okay.
I can't be that bad, right?
Okay,
I really read some
alright.
things. I talk to some friends. I go to gym. So
Correct.
I should be okay. Right? I think that also the pride comes with the shame that I don't want to review my bad habits. I don't want someone to sit across me. It's like, well, Thomas, you've been eating too many Pringles.
You've been bad this year.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
Thomas, the salad you eat, the sauce. So I guess I don't want to find out what I'm doing wrong. I think that could be me, number one.
Okay.
And number two, it also could also, I think that's the first thing I really for men especially. I think I speak for myself. Okay, I'm not sure about other men, but I don't want to meet someone and someone tell me, hey, you're not doing something good.
Okay.
So what would you say to someone like
Okay, I can understand. Am I that bad to find a nutritionist and dietitian, right? This is one of the
admit
idea,
my
right?
flaw. I have to admit,
So think about it this way. So at this era, we are also getting more and more comfortable at asking people to go therapy, right? When we go therapy, doesn't mean you have something bad about yourself. You just go to therapy and find out the tools that you can use to apply to your life. So it's the same thing for nutritionists and dietitians. When you go to nutritionists and dietitians, it's just them helping you to find ways to make it easy for you to practice healthy eating in your life. And another thing about it is when you reach out to accredited nutritionist and dietitian, most of the time we understand that what are you doing right now is because this is what you have in your mind. This is what your resources have. So we don't tell you that, hey, this is bad, this is wrong. So we will tell you, okay, this is high in calories. So in order to help you to reduce calories, you can do this and that. So when we are talking about food, we won't relate you, we won't put your morality with food. Then it will be safer for you to start to change your food. Yeah. So a lot of people think that, if I get pointed out that my food is this and this, because which means I'm a bad person. I'm a person who doesn't take care of my health. I'm so bad. I'm not someone who can hold accountability to myself. So people start spiraling down the hole where, okay, I am a bad person. But to be honest, when you reach out to nutrition and dietitian, we won't do that to yourself. We will try to get you out of that mindset also. Try not to relate your moral. Try not to put morality to any food so that it's easy for you to work on it. So that will maybe help you to solve that pride part, to help you to think that, okay, my food is just need some adjustment. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. Yeah, so that because once you get the adjustment done, it will be easier for you to go on without nutritionist and dietitian after that. Because this is our main goal also. We don't actually want you to
be always attached
to us and then only rely on us to help you to guide you to eat your food. We'll give you skills that you will be able to face any uncertainties in your life and eating behavior, so that you know how to be flexible next time.
I see.
Yeah.
How about now that you was mentioning that, what pops up in my mind is also, I think a lot of people failed their diets before, including myself. I think a lot of people, I think 90% of people listening to this could have tried a diet and failed, or tried to lose weight and fail, try to set a goal to lose weight and fail. I think the more they do it, the more discouraged they get around that topic. So if I have to go and see a nutritionist, I have to admit that I failed, right? But what you offer is that it sounds like a accredited nutritionist knows how to not attach the failure to the person.
Correct.
You failed the diet, you are not a failure.
Correct,
right?
you are not.
You're not a failure,
you are
right?
not. Yeah.
And it could be just a lack of tools.
And that particular diet just doesn't fit your lifestyle. Yeah, it's just not for you. That's all.
It sounds like you focus a lot on like, how do I work with the person's lifestyle rather than going, black and white.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. We don't change this person's lifestyle 180 in order to fit the standard healthy eating image.
I see.
Because it shouldn't be that way.
I see.
Yeah. The health is not one size fits all. Yeah.
And does nutritionists, accredited nutritionists like yourself, train to say there are certain body types that are healthy, or like, if you are a little bit flabby here, are you unhealthy, or what are you looking like? What is your general concern? If let's say if I'm your client, do you care more for my look or do you care more for my health? Let's say if I hire you.
Definitely health.
Health first, right?
Health first. Because look itself, most of the time, look is the outcome of your health. So when you manage to build healthy eating habits, build consistency around your exercise habits or any other healthy habits, then there will be some outcomes that will appear, which may not be under your control. So most of the time, look is not under our control. Not under our control. Yeah. So a lot of people think that I want to look like certain people. I want to have this kind of butt. I want to have this kind of chest.
Yeah.
But yes, at a certain level you can make it. But in long run, you can only make so much effort to change your look. But by focusing on your health, by focusing on building consistency, building eating habits, you'll be able to see some changes in your look. That may or may not be what you want, but still, that is the outcome of your health. Yeah. So I think this is also another great reminder for people who's trying to set New Year resolution.
Yeah, actually, you know what? This is a great time to talk about that. Yeah.
If they want to set New Year resolution, I think it's a good time to stop focusing on just weight. To stop focusing on weight. On just weight, because weight itself is really not just it's not the only indicator of health. So you can start writing down what kind of habits you want to build, like eating at least one serving of vegetables per day. If this person don't eat any vegetables, then one serving of vegetable is better than nothing, right? So they can start eating vegetables once per day or 10 minutes of workout every day. Just 10 minutes. So really just focus on building habits and then your weight will come later. Yeah, correct.
So stop writing things like, I want to lose 10 kilos.
It should be the outcome usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not the steps. Correct. So when you set the outcomes, but you cannot achieve the outcomes, you feel like you're a failure. Right? But because you didn't manage to set the habits that may lead to the outcome. Yeah. So that's the thing that I can help people, that probably more people can rephrase in this new year. Set habits goal instead of the outcome goal.
And make small habit changes.
Correct. It feels more controllable also.
That's true. Yeah, we can't control the outcome.
Yeah, correct.
But we can control our actions that we in our control, right?
Keep it consistent. Yeah.
But what if I'm just trying to be also a bit of devil advocate? Just like, Zhi Ling, if I eat one fruit a day, how can it help me? Like, it's so small, like so insignificant, right? Should I go sign up for Spartan or something?
I know, right?
Like, what would you say to those people who like say never eat vegetables or eat very little vegetables, and you're telling them, the biggest thing you can do for yourself, Thomas, is just to eat 1 to 2 servings of vegetables per day.
To start there.
And then the person says, hey, it's so small. How can it be? What would you be your, don't say rebuttal, but let's say like advice towards someone like myself?
Yeah. So, we can use an example, a very, very visible example, like weight. Okay, we go back to weight. So, for you to gain, for example, 10 kg, it won't be one day. It won't be 1 month for you to get 10 kg, right? It won't take you only 1 month to gain 10 kg. It's the same thing for health. You also need accumulate effort of consistency for you to get to a better health. So for you to get 1 fruit per day, every day, it's not just getting nutrients in your body, but also build your muscle memory to be consistent. So it's not just about nutrient, but it's also giving you the skills to be mindful about what you eat. Yeah. So once you get to eat 1 fruit a day, you are more mindful about your food already. So it's like, okay, I get to eat 1 fruit per day, which means you are doing conscious effort to make that particular habits work. So you are training your mind actually. You're also training your mind, training your mental muscles to do that particular habit. So once your muscle, your mind muscle is getting stronger, you can start pushing yourself a bit more. Eat 2 fruits per day to reach your recommended servings, or eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day to reach the recommended servings. So that's why you have to start small first, not just because anything is better than nothing. Second is to train your muscle, because you cannot just jump right into 5 servings a day because it's not in your system yet. Especially your mind.
You get overwhelmed, right?
Correct, you get overwhelmed. So all these skills that we were talking about, it needs time to train. So maybe people already assume that, okay, I want to be healthy, I can just jump straight into it and then be healthy 100%. Be 100%.
And like what you just said earlier, like, maybe 1 fruit a day is 100% for a guy who's never been aware of nutrition.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's the thing that they can try to see it that way, so that they don't feel like they are not doing anything.
Got it.
Yeah.
So from what I got out of what you just said was that health and fitness, or even nutrition, health and nutrition, even fitness, I guess, comes in, the way we look at it, should look in stages, right? Because in order for me to be really like pro level, like I manage my 3,000 calories or 2,500 calories a day, and I know that I'm in deficit every day, to reach that level of, let's say, a professional,
correct,
means like I'm so good at taking care of myself, I need to first acquire 1 level of mindfulness.
Correct.
Then at least when I know I'm eating 1 fruit a day, I can say, hey, can I make my sauce cleaner, right? Then maybe I can say, hey, can I add 2 more servings of vegetables?
Yes.
Hey, can I reduce my rice by 20%?
Yes.
Right? Carbs by 20%. Like building that awareness is more powerful than the habit itself, right? The habit is just a way to train that mindfulness.
It's both similarly important. So the habit itself, long term, it will benefit your health. But also building through through building the habits, you'll be able to train your mind to be more mindful.
Which is what allows us to stay consistent in the long run.
Correct.
Give us the tools.
Give the tools,
Yeah.
the mental tools to help us to stay consistency along the way, or even down the road when you are facing some life changes, when you have uncertainties in your life, you know how to work around it. Yeah, so that you have the mental tools to work around it despite your changes, despite the bad things happening in your life that may deter you from building to continue the habits. Yeah.
That's really cool. Like I like that because I noticed that you keep saying habits. Like even before we talk about habits, you keep mentioning habits because I kept going after like one or two things that are wrong. You say no, it's a habit.
It's habit. It's always habits. Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Just focus on habits.
And I'm glad that we are doing this right around New Year's, so that this could be a very good message for a lot of people. Because much of people, including myself, right, I always have a new resolution with fitness, and I think most people they fail. And I think it's kind of clear now because I'm focusing on a certain look or weight versus actually saying what are the 2-3 new habits I can put in, right? And make it less overwhelming.
Yes, correct.
Thank you so much. That's a very, very good way to look at things. There's a lot of things that I want to ask us. Diets. Talk about diets. Right? Okay, to jump into diets.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of diets out there that many people try, including myself. So I tried vegan diet, I tried raw vegan, I tried vegetarian diet.
You've collected everything.
I collected everything. I'm also an ex-bodybuilder as well. I competed once, so I did this thing called carb cycling as well.
Yeah.
But I noticed my metabolism went out of whack afterwards. My gut health was just extremely poor. But one things that I've been trying a lot lately, actually, for the last 3-4 years, or 5 years actually, quite consistently, actually fasting, intermittent fasting, long-term fasting. Is as a accredited nutritionist, is there anything that would be concerned that if I told you I don't eat for 3 days in a row and I just drink water?
Actually,
it's not a mechanism to lose weight. I always feel great afterwards.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I lose weight because
Okay.
energy balance, right?
Yes.
Right? If I don't eat for 3 days,
now you
right?
yes,
I definitely will lose weight.
Fast learner, correct.
But what would be something that you'd be concerned about if I'm telling you I'm fasting? Is it okay to fast?
Fast. It's also very difficult to answer whether it's okay to fast, right? So we don't talk about the 3-day fasting first because that's another extreme. We talk about intermittent fasting, right? Or the fasting that our Muslim friends have to do.
15-day hours, 12 hours.
Correct.
Right?
So some of them, they do it for religious purpose. Some of them do it for health purpose, right? So when it comes to fasting, like intermittent fasting this way, it has no extra magical effect on our health other than it's easier for us to achieve calorie deficit. Yeah. So there are some.
So is it proven to lose weight? Like
it can be having the same effect for weight loss, weight losing, compared to those conventional calorie deficit diet. So which means you just reduce 200 kilocalorie per day throughout the day. To get to what you need. So it's the same, you have the same effect of from intermittent fasting versus conventional calorie deficit diet. So there is no it's not a magic bullet. It's not.
It's just because you remove a chunk of calories out of your diet.
It's easier.
Yeah.
So for people who realize intermittent fasting is easier for them to control their weight, I mean, go for it. No worries. Because some people, they just work better without breakfast. And some people, they can do without breakfast. So for those people, they actually find a balance between using intermittent fasting and the health. Go for it. No worries. It's just that they have to realize that this is just another way to make calorie deficit easier. So if they are using that for weight loss. But other than that, they don't have much magical effects on our health, right? And our body don't necessarily burn more fat by practicing intermittent fasting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't. So our body is actually quite smart. They're very good at adapting. So if you don't eat at certain time and then you think they are burning fat because of that, but at the end of the day, when you're eating, or other parts of the day that you are actually eating within your eating window, then your body will burn other parts, other things to get the fuel. So they will compensate throughout the day. So they don't necessarily just burn fat. And burning fat doesn't mean losing fat. Yeah, because a lot of people think that it's the same. So it's not the same. Burning fat, which means our body is burning fat inside, but if we are eating more than what we need, we are still not losing fat. Yeah. So it still have to go back to energy balance. Yeah, really have to go back to energy balance.
So it's still calories in must be less than calories in should be less than calories out. Still the fundamentals.
Fundamentals, correct.
But so it doesn't matter if it's sugar or no sugar, or because I heard insulin is a hormone that causes to store fats, right?
Yeah. So also people already over-fixated on that insulin model.
Is that like a level step 5, step 6, step 10 kind of thing first? Or?
No. So for insulin model, we really don't have to over-fixated on that, because
really?
most of the time, if we manage to get balanced meal throughout the day, or if someone who eat intermittent fasting, who practice intermittent fasting, they eat balanced meal within their eating window, and then if they control their calories intake within what they need or less than what they need, if they're trying to lose weight, then it will be okay.
Okay.
The insulin thing is already, it's a mechanism, but it's already been overhyped to a point where people think that that's the only thing that will affect your weight.
Because there's certain communities that demonize insulin.
Yeah, correct.
They're like, insulin is bad, insulin spike. And then,
yeah, insulin spikes is bad. But if you eat carbohydrate, your body will naturally have temporarily insulin spikes, and it's okay. It's natural body response.
Insulin tells our body to store sugar, right?
Yeah, store sugar, and then to help us to break down the sugar in our blood. So once the sugar in our blood is broken down, then it will go back. Yeah.
But the problem is that if it's prolonged.
Prolonged, prolonged, and then correct. We don't want it to be prolonged, and we don't want to make it a consistent thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about let's say juice fasting? Is that some people they say, oh, let's start the new year with a detox. Is detox even a real thing?
So good question. Yeah. So detox itself is one thing that we can I can talk about why they want detox, because detoxing, a lot of these detox program, they encourage a lot of fruits and vegetables intake, right? So that's a good side of it. Yeah. So that's why a lot of people, when they go through detox, they feel better because they eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. But to be honest, our body is totally fine at detoxing itself. So we have our lung, breathe in, breathe out, or the carbon dioxide. Yeah. And then we have our urine, we have our liver, we have kidney. So all of these things help us to eliminate waste. So as long as we are focusing on getting our body function well, our body will eliminate waste ourselves. So we don't actually need a detox program to help us to do that.
I see.
Correct. And detox program is also very short term. So how it doesn't make an impact to our life, much impact to our life actually. All right.
So you're saying let's say a juice fast, for example, the benefit is because they're just eating more fruits. Yeah. Which could be achieved by just adding 2-3 fruits a day.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Correct.
So juice fasting, is it something dangerous or should we avoid it? Or let's say I told you, Zhi, I'm going on a juice fast.
I'll ask how many days?
7 days.
To be honest, if any of my friends or families, they really want to go for it, 7 days, okay lah. I will close half of my eye, close one eye lah. Okay, I will close one eye.
When it becomes more of you gotta, I said 15 days. Right?
Yeah, then 15 days or 30 days. Then I will remind them, okay, 30 days may be a bit too much already. It's because you're not getting enough nutrients. You are not getting carbs, protein, everything. So these are the things that help you to sustain your life. So if you are not getting enough of these for 30 days, I'm not sure whether you will get very long-lasting negative impact to your body. Oh. Yeah. So muscle loss or maybe I'm not sure whether down the road will this affect your organ or not because you're not getting enough nutrients. And then so these are the things that I will be more aware of when they are going for long-term detox or fasting. Yeah.
So one thing you sort of brought up is really cool. You said our body can detox itself. We don't need to go through a
detox program.
It's just how can we support our body to be healthy? Yeah. Then the body can function as it's supposed to be.
Correct. Because I think I can help people to see this particular topic this way. So if there is any acute toxicity, we have to go to hospital. Right? Detox program won't help us to do
acute
anything.
Meaning
acute means you accidentally drink pesticide accidentally.
Okay.
All right. So drink whole can of pesticide accidentally. That's acute toxicity.
then
you have to go to hospital.
no juice fasting will help.
No,
that.
yeah, exactly. Because you will die if you go for 7-day fasting, tell you to that. Then if it's long-term toxicity, which means there will be something that we need to work on in our life rather than the juice detoxing really. So long-term toxicity means maybe constant exposure to some like toxic elements or what. This one, I'm not the expert, so I can't dive deeper on that. But if it's long-term, then juice detoxing also can't help. The 7-day juice detoxing also can't help too. Yeah, so this is how we can see it this way lah.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, if you have a toxin, if there is, it's not about adding something, it's about removing something.
Removing the toxin,
which again is not something that is can we jump into?
Not for my
statement.
Yeah, I'm not a toxicology.
So yeah, sounds right. Yeah, and there's so would you say detox diet is something not number one on our list if you want to lose weight, get healthier?
Correct.
Not number one on the list.
Not number one.
And even fasting, intermittent fasting, also not number one.
No, because intermittent fasting I can understand, but not the 3 days fasting.
Okay.
So the 3-day fasting, yes, you might feel better. I understand because you just eat less food and then you drink water, but it not just over restrict yourself. Where you may experience some low level or mild nutrient deficiency, but at the same time, it also promotes the thinking of all or nothing mindset. So it's like, okay, I eat fast 3 days and then I eat.
I whack.
I whack. Given that you whack lah. So it's not good for long-term relationship with food. Yeah, so it's not really a good way to go around food because fasting itself is also not how we usually eat throughout our life, right? And maybe at one point, fasting will also affect our social life too, because we don't get to enjoy food with our family, with our friends when there are some important occasions that involve food. Yeah, so those are the things that we always try to not go for first, or maybe usually we don't go for forever because it just doesn't make sense for long term. Yeah, short term maybe. Yeah, but we still don't encourage lah.
How about ketones and ketosis diet? Because that's one thing I practice a lot is I don't eat a lot of carbs. I do like my meat. I'm not a carnivore diet. I do like meat. Like I just generally a diet that I follow a lot is I eat a lot. I like to buy good cuts of meat and I cook them the way I like to cook them. And I eat I eat less carbs. So I substitute with a lot of good extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, avocados. What about keto diet? Is it something that I know you just said it earlier that this is the less important if I want to lose weight, but is it something that you would say don't do or consider?
Keto diet would be along the spectrum. Keto diet would be like along the middle. It's around the middle part of the spectrum. So because if you practice ketone diet, right? For example, eating more
meat and fats.
healthy fats than meat. Yeah, then it might be working for certain people. Yeah, it might work, but for most people, it still doesn't work. Yeah, but I understand that for certain group of people, it worked for their life. Given that they are eating more unsaturated fat than saturated fat, and then they are focusing more on plant intake instead of just meat. Yeah, then it may work for that person. But generally, I still won't go ketone diet straight away because it's just not.
Again, it's not the first thing we should look at. Yes. If someone wants to get healthier.
Correct. If this person come to me with a blank paper, like as a blank paper, then I won't ask them to go like any fat diet. Yeah. So this is our stand lah. Correct.
It's very cool. I mean, like so far the whole time, I've been sort of pushing you into the conversation of what is diet, that diet, and you always come back to the fundamentals, right? And
it still have to go back to fundamentals.
And maybe that's why there are trained, credited nutritionists out there.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So that's why we stand firm with our point.
Yeah. It's very important. I want to talk about people follow a strict diet. People including myself, I tried following strict diets. And I know you don't advocate that, right? You don't advocate strict diets.
Yeah.
And some people, get upset, they get depressed, and it affects themselves mentally, and they do things like cheat days.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a better way to go around strict diets? Or you just don't don't bother with this idea called strict diets at all.
Yes, don't bother with strict diet because restrictive diet, first thing, it's just doesn't give you enough flexibility. Because we don't live our life in echo chamber.
What
Right?
do you mean echo chamber? Like
We don't live our life in a bubble. So we cannot control every single thing in our life. Right? So strict diet is having strict diet, it sounds like we are living in a bubble where we can control every single thing and we just follow that particular diet. But it just doesn't work that way because we don't live in a bubble. So yes, we don't recommend any strict diet to begin with. And for example, just now you mentioned cheat day, right? So we don't usually recommend cheat day also because having cheat day, first thing, technically they might eat more than what they need on the cheat day itself. And when we pull out and look at the bigger picture, in total, they might eat more than what they need already. Yeah. So calories is not just one day. We cannot just look at our calories intake one day. We also need to pull out and then see along the 4 weeks, do I eat averagely this amount? Right? Do I eat averagely this amount? Like for example, this person need 1,800 to maintain their weight. And this person go for 1,600 to reduce their weight. Right? So if this person practice cheat day, maybe every single cheat day they eat 3,500. Right?
So they undo all the deficit.
It's not undo. The 1,600 diet is still diet. But when you pull out and you calculate the whole calories intake averagely, it become 1,870 per day. So remember when we said this person need 1,800 to maintain weight?
Yeah.
So it's actually 70 calories more than what they need already. So in long run, they are actually gaining weight by having cheat day. So instead of having cheat day, I would rather them to incorporate those fun food. Okay, usually I don't name junk food as junk food.
Oh,
so
why is that?
I name them as fun food because those food is actually fun. It's very fun to eat. Burgers, pizza, chips, super fun, right? They are super fun. But like everything in our life, we don't have 90% of fun in order to live our life. We do need to have like certain amount of fun to keep it within that area, to keep it within that amount, and then we continue to have 80% of our life to be not just fun, right? So it's the same thing for our food. We keep that 20% of our fun food within 20%, and then we spread it out throughout the week, so that you incorporate your fun food into your daily life.
So let's say if I love chocolate.
You eat one piece of chocolate today. Yeah, so you can include 2 pieces of chocolate for your breakfast. For example, you eat oatmeal. If you eat oatmeal, you add 2 pieces of chocolate into your oatmeal. So think about how you can include your fun food into your daily life. I like, for example, if I like chocolate chip, right? I can add that to my afternoon snack. Yogurt. So I have yogurt and I have chocolate chip. So I have protein and some fun carbohydrates. So these are some of the way that I would encourage people to go around fun food instead of completely eliminating it throughout the week and then only one day eat only fun food.
And I find that if I do that, I tend to binge.
Okay,
I tend to binge, right?
Yeah,
because if
correct.
I just cut out, like I love chocolate, like I really love chocolate. It knows 99% chocolate and stuff, or even 90%. Chocolate of any sense, right? I'm a sucker for chocolate, right? So if I find myself like avoiding sweet food and chocolate, which I don't take a lot of sugar anyways, but I think chocolate is what I'm looking for, and then I'll end up with a Starbucks hot chocolate, and then the same day I'll get the 99% chocolate. I'll whack the whole bar, right? Then I'll have another next day morning, get up, I feel like eating a whole bar of like one of those sugary chocolates. I start eating, and then I'll go away, and then I'll come back again like that.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Is that common? Like
very common actually. You are pointing out a very very important point about this particular.
And I feel guilty. Then I feel bad.
And then it's a vicious cycle. And then you go back to your diet again, and then at the end of the week you do that all over again. So yes, it is a very common behavior among people who have restrictive diet. They tend to binge a lot on their cheat day or when they have access to that particular food. Yeah, so that's why we also do not recommend any strict diet, because it will increase the tendency to binge, and down the road it may lead to eating disorder. So we don't want that to happen, right? So if it's very easy for some people to have this binge eating behavior, then we would rather have that particular chocolate, for example, to be included in their daily intake instead of restricting it.
I find that I binge more when I particularly have a bad day.
Oh yeah,
right.
That makes sense.
I think maybe I'm looking for comfort, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Then I tend to binge more. You know?
Yes.
Is it common? Like
it is common. Yeah. So some people, they need food. They go for food for comfort when they are stressed, right? When they had a bad day, so they are trying to find food, to use food as a coping mechanism. So if some people, they are mindful enough, there is nothing wrong about having some comfort food. But if a lot of people, they are not mindful enough to know that, okay, how much you should use as a coping mechanism. So they tend to go overboard and then they eat more. So usually it will be best for people like this to find ways to not use food as coping mechanism. Yeah.
How would I, let's say if I'm a guy who binge chocolate.
Yeah.
Every time I feel stressed and I feel like I'm having a bad day, then how would I do that? Like, rather than, so what would be the steps? I have to go AA meeting. No. Hi, my name is Thomas. I'm a chocolate addict.
I'm a chocolate addict. Yeah, if we have. That, I think for that, maybe you have to find a way to see what makes you feel comfortable outside of food. Like, do exercise make you feel better? Or does having a walk, just simple 10 minutes walk outside, does that make you feel better? Or does that pulling yourself out of that situation and not thinking about it by doing something that you like, would that make you feel better? It's also, so these are the things that you may have to find out yourself. Or maybe you have to work with therapist to help you to find out what are the coping mechanism or coping tools that you can use to help you to cope your bad day.
It sounds really cool, because what you're saying is not cut out. Like, how do I replace?
Yes.
How do I mindfully replace it?
Correct.
Because I think when you cut it out, it makes it even worse. Because now you got no
coping mechanism.
No way to soothe or comfort yourself. It's probably become worse.
Correct.
And then, because that's the only one that you know, you probably go back even deeper, right?
Yeah.
So when you the more you cut, then you try to go back even deeper, right? Okay. So I think everyone knows what not to send me when for
not chocolate.
Right? I'll find one myself, right? Eventually. But I like that advice, because I think much of when it comes to fitness, nutrition, some of the things that I've been fixated, and I think a lot of people maybe have fixated, speaking probably for the audience, is how do I cut things out? How do I remove things?
Correct.
Versus actually just trying to just build
find alternatives.
Find alternatives, build healthier habits and choices, right? Be mindful of the choices, then you can make better choices. That's pretty much it. Right?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
It sounds simple,
Yeah.
but I can understand it's not easy. Yeah, because just for the two of just between two of us, we have very different life, right? So that's why that's where all the complexities come in, because everyone has very, very different life. So certain coping mechanism may work for you, but this may not work for me. So that's why. And food itself is so personal, where everyone has their own opinion.
Yes.
Everyone has their own opinion. So you hear your friends say this, and then your family say that, but then you realize, hey, it doesn't seem like both of these work for me. And then you don't know where to go already.
So it sounds like understanding nutrition is a personal journey.
Correct. It's a very, very personal thing. Yeah.
I got a lot. Another question I want to ask though. I know we did just came out the topic of we shouldn't just, like I said about like coping mechanisms, shouldn't cut them off and find good replacements, right? But I'm also curious. Is there anything if there's one thing, there's one food that's slowly killing us today, right? What should we avoid? if there's, and I'm not saying this out of like coping mechanism or chocolate or anything specific.
Definitely.
I'm just asking this because I'm just curious, is there, as a accredited nutrition, is there something out there that we are constantly eating that we should really eliminate, not out of demonizing it, but just out of scientific facts that this is probably not good for us?
There is no one single food that will kill us, but there is this one, I wouldn't say this is a food, but alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yes. So alcohol itself is already considered, there's no moderate for alcohol.
So it's no like, if I drink less, then I'll be okay.
Yeah. So there are some risks behind certain amount of alcohol that you should drink every day, but there is no like moderate intake. So any form of any amount of alcohol will introduce toxins to our body. Alcohol is a form of toxin anyway. Yeah. So I'm not saying that you have to stop drinking alcohol right away, and then you cannot have alcohol with your business partner and all, right? Because it's such an important part of a lot of people's life. So what I'm saying is you do have to understand there are risks involved behind having alcohol. So there are no moderate consumption. Any alcohol is considered toxin. Yeah, so this is the only time that I would say about food, one thing as toxin. So that's alcohol, because we consume that, right? So that's the only thing that I want people to be more aware about. Because I also can't decide, I also can't force you to do anything about your life, right? So you just have to be more mindful and to know when do you want to take the risk and when do you think that risk is not worth it.
So you say something there's no moderate amount. What does that mean?
So because a lot of food that we are talking about is like chocolate, fun food, chips. There are, if you eat moderately, it can be in your life, right? It can exist in your life. But alcohol itself, even one drop is also not considered good for your body. Yeah, so there's no good from alcohol. Yes, I think there are previous studies that found that moderate consumption of alcohol is actually good for our body, right?
Yeah.
So this is another kind of bias or study. How would I say this? Study error, where sometimes we will find out later after years after these particular research have been published. So a lot of people, they didn't realize that a lot of these people who consume moderate amount of alcohol, they are also having a very good, healthy life. So those are the things that relate to each other. So that's why it seems like people who have moderate consumption of alcohol have healthy life. But it's a relationship. It's a correlation. So it's like it's not because they are having moderate consumption of alcohol that cause them to have healthy life.
Maybe there are other factors that they do to
correct.
to
so it's not.
counteract
So this is just because a lot of these people who consume alcohol moderately, their common characteristic is healthy lifestyle. Yeah. So that's why the conclusion of moderate alcohol consumption lead to healthy lifestyle, right? Healthy body. So it's not.
It's interesting because I read a study, probably, an influencer I follow. His name is Thomas DeLauer. He I think much of what I learned also from, because he brings up journals and clinical studies to back what he's saying, and he brought up a topic about I think it was him, if my memory serves me right. He says that there's research that says there's no amount of alcohol that's actually safe.
Yeah.
Right. Even 1 glass, or 10 glass or 5 glass, all of it there's an adverse effect, or there's a negative effect on the body lah.
Yeah.
That means the body have to compensate for that.
Yeah.
There's no question about it. So
there's no question about it.
The idea that red wine has antioxidants, but
a lot of people use that to justify. But we can get a lot of antioxidant from a lot of other food, right?
like
legumes, fruits, vegetables, whole grains. Yeah, there are a lot of antioxidant for other foods. So drinking that 1 cup of red wine for that amount of antioxidant with that amount of risk. So you do have to value it lah.
So let's just say that we're not drinking for the antioxidants. You want to you drink it for other reasons, right?
Yeah, exactly, for other reasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. But you talk about, I was going to ask you what's one food we all should eat to help us grow age well. You did say fiber was the top of the list, right?
For fiber, it's not food, but yes, I think people can do more fiber because generally our population don't eat enough fiber to begin with. So of course we are not talking about only eating fiber every day and then forgot about your protein intake, forgot about your fat intake. But it's just that mindfully increasing your fiber intake will in some way improve your health. Right. So this is something that maybe more people can do more of and stop overcomplicate things.
So don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah, just eat more fiber and see how it goes.
Start from there.
Start from there.
Because based on now it makes sense because you said 91% of Malaysians don't eat enough fiber.
Correct.
So I think this will be the easiest thing to tackle.
Tackle first. Yeah.
So what if I'm already eating enough fiber? What else will we look at?
Then you can check whether you are eating regularly, if your portion control is enough, and whether your cooking method is more. Are you using more ideal cooking method like steam, grill, or boiling, blanch, microwave? So there are a lot of things that we can still play around with our food intake and eating behaviors. So when I say play around, means really play around, because a lot of people see health as something that is so like a chore, right? So but they forgot to also see their health from a very curious perspective where, okay, what else can I do? Like what are the small steps I can do to improve our health that I can experiment with, right? But not asking you to like experiment with like an unproven strategy, of course not. But there are a lot of things that you can experiment with without going into that, but another spectrum like exercise.
Extreme diets.
Right? Not extreme diets. So whether you're exercising enough or if you're already bored of your current exercise, can you find new exercise or new sports that you want to that you enjoy? Or are you sleep well? Like, are you sleeping well, right? Do you sleep 6 to 8 hours a day? And then if you have smartwatch, then maybe you can see your sleep score. How can you improve your sleep score, right? So all of these small little things that we can navigate, that we can try to experiment with, focus on those.
I see that in your IG you do a lot of cooking delicious healthy meals.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by a better sort of experiment than extreme diets?
Yes. Yeah, correct. Because cooking at home definitely would be much easier for us to control our food better than only eating out. So for those who are able to cook at home, they have the capacity, they have the resources to cook at home, they can start experiment with different ingredients that they haven't tried. So that's one thing. Or for example, when we talk about vegetables intake, right? So every week they can try one new vegetables that they haven't tried. So that's something that they can play around instead of just, okay, I have to eat salad every day, only salad. Dal salad without dressing, just force myself to eat.
So or broccoli, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I did for bodybuilding. Broccoli. My only fiber is broccoli.
Broccoli and chicken breast, chicken
breast, brown rice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's also something that I'm trying to push against. So life is not just about broccoli, chicken breast, brown rice. So there are still bayam. There are still our local fish, ikan tenggiri. There are still our local so many local food that haven't been explored much on social media. So that's also something that I'm trying to do more of, to help people to see health in a more culturally relevant way. Instead of just salad, instead of just very Eurocentric image of healthy eating. Yeah, so I think that's the thing that people can also try to rephrase when it comes to healthy eating. It's not just salad. It's not just broccoli. It can be
fun.
Yeah, it can be ikan tenggiri and our local bayam, right? So there are so many things that we can play around.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to make fitness, like you say, curious,
correct,
fun.
Correct.
Yeah. I got another. I want to just bypass another question that I want to ask. I think it's very important. We got a lot of limited time, but I do want to ask this though. Sleep. How important is sleep to our? I know you are a accredited nutritionist, but you did say you do study someone's lifestyle, including their sleep.
Yeah, we do. We do have to factor in their sleep duration, quality. Yeah.
How does lack of sleep affect our health? I mean, because some people, they say we can tough it out. We can just
tough it out.
Less,
mind over body.
Mind over body. I do have one of my team members. She really sacrificed a lot of sleep to get work done.
Yeah.
Full respect to her, but
yeah.
But how does sleep actually affect someone's, like, say, health? Like, does it affect my cardiovascular health? Does it affect my mental health? Does it make me store more fat? Does it make me eat more food? How does sleep affect us?
I think the most direct effect of sleep on our eating behaviors or health is that when we don't get enough sleep, the next day we will have we have higher amount of hunger hormone.
Oh.
So it makes us feel hungrier.
Oh.
So we want to eat more.
Okay.
And then when we eat more and then we are not making mindful choices, then our body will feel that it's subpar, a little bit subpar. Then at the end of the day, when your body is not getting feel that is when at the end of the day when you are not getting nutritious food for your body feel worse, and then you don't get better sleep. So it's also another cycle. So having enough sleep will help you to regulate your appetite better.
Oh, really?
In simple terms.
Yeah. So what you're saying is, if I don't regulate my sleep well, I can't regulate my diet well, which in return it also appetite well. So it also means that then my sleep will become there's food effect of sleep too.
Yeah, correct.
Oh,
correct. So it's like it's both way.
I see.
It's both way. So for some people, they may have to avoid eating before 2 to 3 hours before sleep to help them sleep better. But some people, they might feel better when they have some simple carbohydrates before sleep, because that will help them to sleep better. So everyone's sleep quality or sleep pattern also very different. So if you manage to improve your sleep by maneuvering or navigating different factors in your life to help you to sleep better, then you can do it.
So what you're saying is that if I don't sleep well enough, my appetite control is less the next days.
Yeah.
So is that why, like, the next day, if I don't sleep well, I crave sugar a bit more?
Maybe.
Yeah, because for me, then I want carbs and sugar.
Yeah.
I think pasta, right? Where's my pasta? Where's my pizza, right? Even though I'm a keto diet, but when I'm not slept well, I tend to want carbs more. And then I tend to eat carbs, and then when I eat, I overeat.
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll feel sluggish afterwards.
Yeah.
And then probably
it
what
could
they call
be
a
it could
crash,
be one
right?
of the correct.
And then I crave the second carbs again, right? So is that why? Like
it could be. So your sleep will also affect your hunger hormone, correct? Your appetite regulating hormone.
And of course, because I'm less rested, I have less inhibition control, right?
Maybe correct. That affects your mind too, also. Correct.
Because so sleep has quite an impact in diet.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So if one of those days, if let's say I don't sleep well and I'm really like I'm craving my all this junk food, fun food, right?
Yeah, fun food.
What would you advise me to do? Let's say from your client.
As simple as you really crave for that, and that's what you have in that's what you can get right now. Then think about how you can add to that particular meal. For example, pizza, right? You don't get enough fiber. So can you order a side salad to eat with your pizza? Yeah. Or can you pasta? So usually pasta don't get enough. If it's like vegetable sauce pasta, then maybe you get vegetables. But it doesn't have enough protein. So can you order a side of grilled chicken to pair with your pasta? So to make it a balanced meal. So that having a balanced meal may also help you to regulate your appetite for next meal better. So that's how you can make mindful choices along the way. You don't have to feel like, shit, like that like yesterday I had bad sleep, so today I'm my meal of the day will be messed up. So we don't have to see it that way. We can think of it as, okay, yes, today I may have less appetite control. So how can I make it less? How can I damage control? Right. So pizza pair with salad, pasta pair with chicken, or if you crave for char kway teow, just add more fiber, add cucumbers. That's all. Right. So just try to think of ways to help you to add nutrients to your meal, so that it can help you to make better choice after that. Yeah. So one step at a time.
That makes sense, because if I just look at pasta, I guess if I don't eat enough fiber, then I'll feel less satiated very quickly. Right? If I don't eat enough protein in the pasta, I feel satiated. Then the next hunger pang comes, then I'll overdo it again.
And I eat more carbs again.
So it sounds like the way you look at things is very not black or white. It's like either not even demonizing, right? It's just sort of like, how how do I still fulfill that need, but sort of work around it?
Work around it. Yeah, the word correct. Work around it.
Okay. Well, I've got a lot of thinking to think about.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. To work around food is actually very tough because you have a lot of things you need to think, right? So I think also go back to the topic that we talk about. We do have to give ourselves time to build that particular skill. Right? You won't be able to reach to this point right away if you think you want to have a better relationship with food. You also need to train for that. You also need to practice for that. So at the beginning, the thinking part can be tough. It can be tough, right? Why so many thinking? I just eat clean food enough already, ma. No need to think about it so much. But down the road, when you get that particular muscle to help you to decide food in this way, to work around it, you realize that you'll be able to work with uncertainties better. Yeah. So that's the thing.
It's really interesting. Throughout the whole conversation, one thing I sort of like take away is that although you are an accredited nutritionist, much you really advocate is not about what to eat, what not to eat. I think what you really shown me today is actually the mind is more important than the food you eat, right?
Correct,
the mindset.
correct,
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So all the habits you sort of build and advocate is sort of how do I have a stronger mind so that the mind can take care of the body, it seems.
Yeah, to help you take care of the body, correct.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. I think I want to end today with one question, which is every year, I think a lot of people make goals to eat healthier, to look better, but some of us, I think, fail to achieve it because the lack of discipline. This is what I think. Is it a lack of discipline or not? What's the best way to change this recurring cycle? Like, this whole want to be healthier and then don't. Because I think I'm one of those people that I say, I want to be healthier this year, and then I end up somewhere, maybe not so far. Maybe February is like jalat already. Right?
Okay. That's fast.
What would be your advice? And I got a feeling that it has less to do with food, but more to do with mindset, right? Yeah.
Yes, correct. So I think throughout our conversation, you will know what kind of answer I will give already. So I think it's a very great question to end this particular session. The first thing first is to stop thinking that you have to make it last throughout 2025. So because all these changes, it shouldn't be just within 2025, right? It should be a lifelong journey. Your health is lifelong. It's a lifelong journey. You won't be able, like for example, okay, you reach a certain goal in November 2025. So what? After that, what? Right? So I want people to stop thinking that health is only you can only be thinking about health only during New Year. Right? It's more than that. Right? So other than that, discipline, right? It's overrated. Yeah, discipline is overrated because it make health sounds like a chore. Right? It's very military vibe. Like, yes, I have to discipline every day, like 6 a.m. wake up, 5 a.m. club, right?
So you're in good shape. Do you say it's all discipline or
No, I'm not a disciplined person, but I value consistency. I value consistency a lot. So I make myself show up every time, even if I don't feel like it. Right? If I don't feel like it, I show up. It's not discipline. It's just showing up, and then I just do 10 minutes workout. That's it. If my body feel like I want more, okay, I continue. But if I know my body cannot take it anymore, I won't force myself to go through it. That might be discipline already. And discipline means a lot of time. Discipline means don't listen to your body and just push your body through something that your body doesn't want it. Yeah. So sometimes it can be very tough for people to discipline to make sure they discipline and throughout their diet. So try not to think of it as discipline, but showing up. So for example, like vegetables intake. Today you eat out all day. You don't even get vegetables intake today. So by ordering extra taugeh in your gai fan, it's already showing up.
Gai fan for our friends who don't speak Cantonese means chicken rice.
Correct, okay. Chicken rice. So that's also another kind of showing up already. So you did something. That's your 100% today. Right? So that is something that I want people to do more for themselves, to be kind to themselves, to not just only discipline and only about goals and goals and goals, but also think about, okay, what capacity do I have today? What kind of habits can I build today what kind of habits I can continue to establish today that within my capacity. So those are the mindset part for New Year resolution. And then for practical tips is, I think it's the same thing. Focus on habits instead of outcomes. So think about what kind of habits you lack right now. If you are not exercising enough, okay, start with exercising 5 minutes a day, alternate days. You don't even need to do this every day. Or if you really don't have time, you focus on getting short bouts of exercise throughout the day, like 5 minutes morning, 5 minutes at night. You get 10 minutes a day already. So start small. So that's also another reminder for everyone. Start small and be consistent. Focus on consistency, start small, and then find out those habits that you haven't built yet, and then focus on habits. It's the same thing. I know it's a broken record from beginning until now. It's the same thing, but health is not that complicated. Yeah.
And it sounds like what you're sharing is quite the contrary to what a lot of people do, including myself. A lot of people in New Year's resolutions is that, or whenever they have a fitness goal, they do the extreme. Right? They go the extreme diet, extreme workouts. Then they end up pain over their body, which if you push too far,
and
then
you stop for one whole month.
Because it hurts so much, you don't want to go back. There's no positive relationship to it.
Yeah, correct.
And rather extreme diet. So what you're advocating is be kind to yourself, which is nice and sort of like
be kind but not find excuses. So I don't want people to misinterpret that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's not finding excuses for you. Okay lah, today I don't want to do it. Finding excuses. No, you still have to show up. You still have to do the things that maybe push your boundaries a little bit, but as long as you know that you have done the work, you have done your 100% within that capacity, that's it. It's good. Yeah.
But why is it so important to be kind to yourself in saying? Because I typically don't hear this from fitness coaches, from people who are in the health industry. Why would you say be kind to yourself is important?
Yeah, because health is, like what I said, personal. Very, very personal. So if you are not the one who be kind to yourself, nobody else would already. Because if health it's just you and you don't have anyone else can take care of your health already, right? So if you know and learn how to know what kind of capacity you yourself have, then on that particular days where you have low capacity, you know how to take care of yourself, not just from food, but also from mental perspective, from heart perspective, from feelings. So when I said be kind to yourself, it's also knowing that you have the capacity or you have the skills to balance between rationale, intuitive, and feelings. So those are the things that I want you to be kind to yourself. Like actually be kind to yourself, right? Not be kind, not find excuses. Be kind on top of, when it comes to health, be kind to yourself with the basis of nutrition knowledge. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, I think a lot of people tend to whip themselves when it comes to fitness and goals and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's not sustainable.
Yeah, it is not, because even I did it. I did bodybuilding, and then I got myself in a bulk up diet, and then I cut down. I wouldn't do it again. Like it's not nothing. There's no pleasure in
it's
that.
It's a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah, I've done that. I said the lifestyle not for me. Right? Not for me at all.
Yeah.
Anyways, is there anything that you feel is important to talk about we haven't talked about today?
Wow.
If there's one thing that we feel like we haven't talked about.
I think we covered a lot. We covered really a lot. At this particular moment, do you have anything in your mind?
Oh no, I'm just thinking because in the message when they send out for nutrition, is there anything that we don't, right? Yeah.
I think it's always the same. At the end of the day, what I want everyone to do is to have empathy and curiosity around food and nutrition. That's all. I don't mind whatever information they get from anywhere, as long as they know how to be they know how to empathize themselves. They know how to be curious about food and nutrition. Then that's it. That's good. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Zhi Ling. I think this conversation is very enlightening because, I approached this conversation thinking that it would be a lot of discussion about food choices, diets, fats, workouts. But it seems that you sort of reminded us in something far more important, more powerful, which is being mindful, right? I think, because nutrition is something new for a lot of people. We're not trained. Nobody teaches us about nutrition, and just rather than actually doing something, I think the first thing is to actually put some light on things, right? Because when there's clarity, there's power. If I'm mindful about what I eat, mindful about how much fiber I take, I can use that same mindfulness to create new habits around my health. So thank you so much for sharing that. And you have a lot of passion in it sounds like more than just nutrition. Like you want to empower people to. It sounds like you have a commitment for people to live their best lives.
Yeah, definitely.
So thank you for that.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being on the show. Right. So guys, if you enjoy this session, just let us know in the comments. What do you think? Do like and comment on and share this to your friends, and also please subscribe to our podcast. And if you want to look for Zhi Ling, we put Zhi Ling's IG. Down there, is there any other platforms you have?
IG, TikTok, YouTube.
Anything that you IG, TikTok, and YouTube.
Yes, correct.
Right? Okay, cool. We'll put it all down there over there.
Yes.
Anything you want to tell to our guests before we sign off?
Happy New Year, I guess. Don't set too ambitious New Year resolution. So I hope you to be kind to yourself and stay healthy.
Thank you. Love you guys. Thank you so much, and let's keep it 100. Cheers. Happy New Year's. If you're looking for a way to increase your income and looking for different businesses to do, I know what most of you are thinking. It's a lot of risk, it's a lot of capital involved. I don't know what to do. And that's why I created Team Infinity Academy, where we not only provide a way for people to get into the business world without forking a lot of capital, but we also provide the education and the vehicle. We have a way that I use to make my money, right? This is the business I run. And I want to teach people how to utilize my business to build a life of their dreams. Now, if you're interested to find out more, there is a preview. We're looking for the right business partners. And inside that business discovery session, you'll find out how this business can support you to build the life that you want to live. If you're interested to find out more, link in the description below. And sign up for one of our webinars. Will be mostly hosted by myself. See you there.